Alrighty. Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is your boy Fitzmonk TV here, aka G-Lon33. I want to welcome you guys back here to the Legit Shoot podcast. Here tonight with your Monday Night Raw review and results for December 14th, 2020. Thank you guys so very much, as always, for joining me tonight on the podcast. Hope you guys are doing well, staying safe and healthy. Yeah, we got to go over another Monday Night Raw. We're going to have to be negative, as always, because Monday Night Raw sucked. It sucked. What else do you want me to say? It's the same shit every single week. The show was awful tonight. And I would not be surprised, and I've said this in the past, I would not be surprised if you forgot that there was a pay-per-view this Sunday. I would not be surprised if you forgot there was a pay-per-view for this Sunday because of how bad Monday Night Raw was tonight. Because they don't do a good job. They don't do a good job of making you care about what's going to be on the pay-per-view this Sunday. They don't make you care about the stories, the rivalries, the title matches. They just don't. It's the same shit every single week. There was very, very little to like about tonight's show. And the thing about it is, it felt like there was a lot. There was a lot of matches over the course of 3 hours, right? We had multiple superstars appearing multiple times throughout the show. Like Matt Riddle, he had 4 or 5 different segments on this show tonight, right? We saw The Miz and Morrison multiple times. We saw AJ Styles multiple times. And I'm just like, come on. I don't care if you're a 3-hour show. You should not have talent appearing multiple times unless they're in a storyline that warrants them getting a lot more screen time. I'm tired of having to see these segments take place in the first hour and then seeing them again in an interview in the second hour and then seeing them with a conclusion or a match in the third hour. Because that's the way Monday Night Raw is structured. They put multiple segments for all these superstars throughout the show just so they can fill in time. Monday Night Raw has a much larger roster than SmackDown because Monday Night Raw is 3 hours. You should have no issue filling in those 3 hours of your show with compelling television. There's no reason for us to have to see Matt Riddle, even though I like him for the most part. There's no reason why we have to see him 4 times on a 3-hour show. He's not in a prominent storyline that's going to have huge implications for TLC on this Sunday. So why is he on the screen so much? This is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. It's just like, okay, come on. It's common sense. It's common sense. And going to TLC this Sunday, we're going to have, there's a couple matches I care about, right? Roman versus KO should be good. Styles versus Drew McIntyre should be good. Sasha Banks, she's the best in the world, so I care about that. But outside of that, and maybe The Fiend versus Randy Orton. I'm okay with the story. I just don't know if the match is going to be good, right? Because we've seen Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt before, and they've never really done anything special, right? But I'm not gonna lie, they didn't do anything tonight that made me excited for TLC. They didn't, and you guys know I'm gonna be brutally honest. Monday Night Raw sucked again tonight. But I will say this: I did pay attention more to Monday Night Raw tonight because I didn't really care much about the Browns and Ravens game. I don't give a damn about Baker Mayfield, right? So I paid a little more attention to Monday Night Raw, and I fell asleep in the first hour. I fell asleep in the first hour of Monday Night Raw for a good 15, 20 minutes. No surprise there, right? Whenever I give any small attention to Monday Night Raw, this is what happens to me. This is what happens. It mind boggles me the way these things go, bro. It does. Hold up, I gotta make a quick call. Really quick. Give me 1 second, guys. All right, I just had to check in with somebody real quick. But like I said, Monday Night Raw gave us nothing tonight. And we have a pay-per-view this Sunday, and I am not excited for it at all. Not excited. If you guys were live tweeting with me tonight, you guys saw there was nothing good coming out of the show tonight. Keith Lee, right? Let's have that be our opening shoot tonight, right? Because that's the thing that I want to talk about the most, mainly, right? Keith Lee. I talked about it a little bit on the SmackDown review. If you guys saw, there was a report that Vince McMahon is sending Keith Lee back to the Performance Center for more training. He said there was also some other main roster stars, but I didn't really get any names. If anybody in the chat knows what those names were, just feel free to put those down below. But I don't know what were the other names that were Plus McGee sent back down to the Performance Center. But Keith Lee's being sent back down to the Performance Center, right? Because Vince McMahon thinks he needs more training. If you guys want to go check out my rant on that, go check out the SmackDown review from this weekend. But, he's staying on Monday Night Raw. And he had a handicap match with Miz and Morrison, right? And if you guys notice, Keith Lee had more intensity. But the thing about it is, I have, and I know most podcasters and people that watch the product every week like I do, there's never been complaints about Keith Lee's intensity, right? He's always had a good balance. He's funny, he's entertaining, and he knows when to get serious. But now tonight, especially in this handicap match, he felt so forced. Like the aggressiveness that he was showing felt so forced. It was like Vince McMahon written all over it. It's not a coincidence. The weekend that we find out that Vince, thinks Keith Lee needs more in-ring work, which I said on the SmackDown review, it's absolutely wrong. That's false. It's just Vince McMahon being an idiot again, right? Because he doesn't pay attention to NXT superstars. He just pays attention to their looks. That's about it. Remember, this is the same fucking clown that turned Bobby Roode into a babyface when he first came up to the main roster because of his theme song. He didn't watch a day, or he didn't watch a second of footage of Bobby Roode back when he was in NXT. When he was NXT champion, and he was one of the best heels in the fucking company. Putting on classics with Roderick Strong, Shinsuke Nakamura, Drew McIntyre, and other names. Are you kidding me right now? You turned somebody babyface because of their theme song? And look at where Bobby Roode is now. He's nowhere close, and he will never, ever get back to where he was in NXT. I'm starting to see that in Keith Lee. Now you're trying to force this aggressive nature into him? You've already fucked up Keith Lee enough. You changed his theme song, and even though I like his new theme, it's nowhere close to as iconic and as good as his old theme song. Please. I've been trying to get used to it, but it doesn't slap the same way his old theme song did. It doesn't. You have him wrestling in a singlet. He doesn't even do the Big Bang Catastrophe anymore, right? He just does a normal pop-up powerbomb like everybody else. And now you have him with this forced aggressiveness. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of every other big man they have ever pushed in WWE history. The only difference is Keith Lee is good and we liked him. They've done this with Braun Strowman. They did it with Lars Sullivan for a time, right? And, they just did. Remember, they did it with freaking Ryback back in the day? For those of you guys who were watching the product years ago. This is WWE's formula, right? Put someone like Keith Lee, instead of having in championship matches, have him feud with the Hurt Business. Go up and go face, Bobby Lashley. Build him up so that he can be in the main event scene. You have him in a useless handicap match against two fucking clowns. And I like John Morrison, but I can't stand The Miz. I don't care if he's Mr. Money in the Bank. And you have him lose. Really? Really? To me, it looks like the start of a burial for Keith Lee. And I pray that I'm wrong, because Keith Lee should be in a title match at WrestleMania. In my opinion, he should be fighting for the WWE Championship. If not, he should be in a singles match against Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. That's what they should be doing, Keith Lee, going to Mania. Not in this useless shit that they're having him in right now. It's just another example of how out of touch Vince McMahon is. Keith Lee, a guy who's going to be a main event star, and this is what you're doing with him. Pathetic. Pathetic. And you can say that about the rest of the Monday Night Raw roster. That's really what you can. Because Vince is so out of touch, he is burying Raw deeper and deeper. SmackDown at least is decent most weeks, right? Monday Night Raw, I can't remember the last time they had a good show. I can't. I'm saying the same shit every single week because it's true. Because Monday Night Raw is pure garbage. That's what it is. It's pure garbage. Anyway, we're going to talk about this shit show of Monday Night Raw and try to make sense of the TLC to go home show. I'm going to try to make this not last over an hour because I don't want to be here, right? It's crazy to me how I can be, neutral and more positive when it comes to SmackDown reviews. Every single Raw review, I get angry because it just fucking frustrates me with this company. It really does. But anyway, thank you guys so very much for joining me on the podcast. Like, if you guys are watching live, thank you guys as always. If you guys are watching on demand, you guys are amazing as well. Quick announcement. Like I said, the next couple weeks on the channel are going to be very busy for both my anime and my wrestling fans. We have TLC this weekend. So if you guys are not subscribed yet, make sure you guys are, because we'll be covering TLC all week here on the channel. I will have the TLC preview and prediction show. I'm aiming for that most likely on Friday, right? Friday afternoon around like 1 o'clock Eastern time. That's when I'm aiming to do it. We'll just talk for about an hour or so about TLC. But I might do it on Thursdays. It's just going to depend because I have Dragon Ball Super videos coming out later this week. So it's just going to depend. Like, the end of this week is going to be very, very active on the channel. Lots of videos coming out Friday through Sunday. It is going to be crazy. So make sure you guys subscribe and you guys have notifications enabled. But TLC preview and predictions most likely on Friday, maybe Thursday if I have to. But I'll let you guys know about that. And then Sunday night, right after TLC, we'll have a review. I might do a live reaction stream, but I probably won't. Right? I just don't feel like doing one for this show. Really, I'm like, even though there's matches I'm excited for, it's just I don't really feel like it. The next live reaction stream will most likely be the Royal Rumble. So that is that. But yeah, that's the big reaction or the big news for wrestling. I do have an extra podcast coming out soon. I just don't know. I already have it recorded. It's just that I have so many videos planned. I just don't know when I'm going to release it. It's talking about the best of WWE from this year. I might just delay till after TLC, just in case, you know, something happens at TLC that I need to add to that podcast. So hopefully you guys understand about that. Other than that, that's all I got for you guys for right now in terms of announcements. But let's get into Monday Night Raw because I don't want to waste any more time. Well, yes, this is the go-home show for TLC, man, and 'twas the nightmare before TLC. That was the opening segment, right? So, Miz was out, you know, inside the ring. They had tables, ladders, and chairs all set up, and he had a book, and it had AJ Styles, you know, dressed as Santa Claus on the front. So he was going to tell a tale to the audience, right? 'Twas the nightmare before TLC. What about the nightmare that we experience every single week with Monday Night Raw? Huh? How about you have Miz read that nightmare? And how much of a fucking clown Vince McMahon is? And how out of touch? I want to hear about that nightmare, right? Tell me that story. Anyway, so Miz read a story out of a book, right? And basically, it was basically previewing the AJ Styles versus Drew McIntyre TLC match for the WWE title this Sunday. And AJ Styles and Almas made appearances, and John Morrison was dressed as Braveheart. You guys know I like John Morrison, right? The guy's actually entertaining to me. He's funny. I find him entertaining. I just hate how he's in this terrible tag team with The Miz. Right? I'll keep saying it. I just hate how that's what they have John Morrison doing here every single week. All right? The guy's actually entertaining, you know, but he looked very hilarious in that Braveheart outfit. But basically, yeah, Morrison was dressed as Braveheart, and also he was acting like Drew McIntyre. So Styles said, "Shivery's dead, just like your title reign." He drove a fake sword into Morrison's abdomen, and they kept, repeating it. Miz got mad because they kept interrupting the story, right? And basically the story wrapped up with Miz talking about how Styles would climb the ladder and win the WWE title. But then he switched up the finish, right? Gave it an alternate ending and showing him casting in Money in the Bank. Which I've said multiple times, I don't care about Miz's Mr. Money in the Bank. Just have him cash in already so that he can fail. I have absolutely zero interest in seeing Miz as WWE champion. I don't want to see it, right? Have him pull Baron Corbin, fail the cash in, let's move on. Stop dragging this shit out. You have wasted the Money in the Bank briefcase this year with what you did with Otis and The Miz. Get it out, get it done, and let's just focus on Money in the Bank in a couple months in May and actually building up somebody correctly with the briefcase. I'm tired of this shit. I don't care about it anymore. Right? It's the only thing that's keeping Miz relevant on Monday Night Raw. That's it. Stop with the clown shit. Stop. All right. Anyway, Sheamus interrupted, right? And he trash talked with AJ Styles. Styles tried to get away from Sheamus, who wanted to start the match now. But Styles said, "Let's do the match later." But Sheamus would not leave the ring, so we got the match when we came back. All right. I know some people have been asking, "What is Sheamus?" He's playing a tweener for now. He's not a babyface. He's not a heel. But I think it's most likely that, if Drew McIntyre retains against AJ Styles, which he probably will, right? I'm not going to complain if Styles win. I kind of want to see Styles win, to be honest. I love AJ Styles. I would have no problem with him being WWE champion again. But if AJ Styles doesn't win and McIntyre retains, they're most likely going to set up Sheamus versus McIntyre, which would probably, of course, have Sheamus as the heel. So I think he's just playing a tweener for these last couple weeks. Anyway, back to what we were saying. So we got the match, right? This was a pretty good match to start the show. We know how good Styles and Sheamus was, right? So basically, the whole story here was Sheamus selling a left leg injury because Styles kept attacking that throughout the match, right? And of course, Almas being at ringside always gives Styles an advantage. It's like having a second person there. Near the end here, Styles had Sheamus in the calf crusher, which just kept damaging his left leg. He was able to deliver white noise, but he wasn't able to put Styles away. So then he tried to do white noise again from the top rope, but Styles was able to wiggle out of the way, and he put him down to the mat and stacked him up for 3 count. So he attacked Sheamus' leg from the top rope. Sheamus fell after being dragged by Styles off the rope after that attack, and Styles was able to get the win. So no one won with finishers, so I guess they're still trying to protect Sheamus a little bit here, especially if they're going to have him go up against Drew McIntyre here eventually. But after the match, we saw Styles and Almas. They tied Sheamus' feet in the ropes, and they attacked him with a steel chair, which actually was decent attack. You knew that Styles was going to most likely win, unless there was a disqualification. There was no way Styles was going to lose, especially when he has a title match on Sunday. Why? We know that doesn't make any sense. But they want to make Sheamus look strong, so that's the reason why they went with this result. Not a bad match to start the show, right? This was actually one of the decent things on the show tonight. Nothing special here. It got the job done, and that's that. It was mainly just to get, Styles and Almas over as a powerful duo going to Sunday with TLC. Next up, we had the New Day and Jeff Hardy versus the Hurt Business, right? And we know that this Sunday we'll be getting the Hurt Business versus the New Day. We'll talk about this a little more on the TLC Preview and Prediction show later this week. But I do predict the Hurt Business are most likely going to become the new Raw Tag Team Champions. They don't really have anything else, right? They're going to keep dragging this and dragging this and dragging this because they know they have no other fucking tag teams. It's just, that's it. I complain about it every single week, and nothing changes. So the only way I can see the story going any further is if they do that. If they do that. I think we're going to see the Hurt Business win the Tag Team Championships this Sunday at TLC. Anyway, so Riddle accompanied Jeff Hardy and the New Day to the ring, and Hardy also agreed that he wanted to give this Hardy Bros thing a shot. I know some people in the community have been complaining about Matt Riddle's gimmick on WWE TV. I'm going to be honest, and I don't believe I'm saying this, I don't have much of a problem with it. I'm not. I feel like if they had, live attendance, it would be even more over. I'm just going to be honest. I like what they I like Matt Hardy. Not Matt Hardy, Matt Riddle. I like him in the role that he is. I know it's not the best role and it's a little bit different from his NXT role, but I kind of like the funny nature. You know, he could put on a banger of a match with anybody, you know, and he's semi-decent. He's semi-decent, you know. I kind of like how he puts bro in front of everything, and he has really cool interactions with every superstar. You know, no matter if it's like the Fiend, Bray Wyatt, like we saw tonight, or if it's like the heels with the Hurt Business, or if it's freaking with, you know, Ribbity Rabbit from the Firefly Funhouse. You know, he's able to make every interaction he has, you know, kind of entertaining, no matter if it ends in a positive or negative way. So I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of behind what they're doing with Matt Riddle. Do I hope he eventually wins a championship? Yeah. I know there's not going to be, you know, many people that disagree or that agree with me, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm not that mad about how Matt Riddle is being booked. I don't have much of a problem with it. But let me know in the comment section, guys, how you guys think about Matt Riddle. You know, do you guys like his booking? Do you guys like his character? I don't have much of a problem with it. As long as he's, you know, booked decently on Raw, I don't have a problem with it. He has world champion written all over him one day, and hopefully WWE goes down that path, even though I don't trust Vince. But for right now, I'm pretty fine with, you know, how Matt Riddle is going on Raw. Anyway, basically, yeah, we had the tag team match, right? There was a little bit of, you know, just a small bit of conflict between the Hurt Business, right? They had Cedric Alexander tagging himself in when Bobby Lashley didn't ask him to. So Lashley was looking a little bit perplexed, like, what are you doing? But, you know, Alexander, you know, it didn't have much of an impact on the match itself. Like I said, you know, it was a decent match. 6, you know, really good competitive guys, right? So near the end, classic tag team match, right? We see every single superstar getting in their moves, right? We saw Kofi. He flew over the top rope to take out Cedric Benjamin. Xavier Woods tried to do the same thing to Bobby Lashley, but Lashley caught him in midair. Hardy then took out Lashley, right? But then we saw Cedric Alexander was still the legal man. So Hardy hit the twist of fate, but before he got hit with the twist of fate, Lashley blind tagged himself in the match, kind of getting back at Alexander for what happened earlier. So then Alexander interfered once again, and that was able to give Lashley, who knocked Hardy off the top rope, to lock in the full Nelson, which looked actually pretty cool. And Hardy had to tap out. And afterwards, the Hurt Business celebrated their victory. Like I said, I do have the Hurt Business winning the tag titles on or at TLC. There's really nowhere else they can go with this story. They don't have any other heel tag teams to, you know, challenge the New Day. I can't think of any. I legitimately can't think of any. So, you know, we'll see. But my prediction right now is the Hurt Business winning those tag team titles, and I really wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't. It's just I just don't know where WWE would go with it, because you can't trust this company. You can't. Moving on. This pissed me off. I tweeted this out during Raw. Like, what the hell has happened to Asuka? And you guys who have been watching every single week, I've been complaining about it for close to 2 months. How Asuka's title reign has been absolutely shit. That's the simple way to put it. Her title reign has been jack shit. All right, it's been terrible, awful for the most part. You know, so before the match, Asuka offered a pep talk to Lana before she went off the face of Nia Jax, and they had Asuka, man. You know, Asuka's English has improved, but it's still not all the way there. You know, I'm more used to her to speaking partially Japanese and then saying a little bit of English at the end. But she did like a 30-second pep talk entirely in English. And I'm just saying, they have Asuka over here like she's like a mother to Lana, right? Having to, you know, give her motivation, talk her up, all this shit. I'm just like, this is not the fucking Asuka from NXT. It's not. It's not the Asuka from NXT. And I hate it. It's shit. At the end of the day, man, I'm tired of complaining every single week about how bad Asuka's title reign has been, and it's not her fault. How bad it's been, how she hasn't had any legit opponents. But man, oh man, now you have your Raw Women's Champion out there just acting like she's Lana's mom. Who the fuck cares about Lana? Who cares? Why is Asuka in this position? Why? You see what they're doing with Sasha Banks, right? Sasha Banks, the best female wrestler in the world. She's actually having a compelling program with Carmella. Something that I'm actually invested into. Why can't they do that with Asuka? It's not that difficult. I know the Raw Women's division is missing people. I know Naomi's not there. I know Charlotte's not there. And I know Alexa Bliss hasn't been there the last couple weeks because I know she's filming some kind of project. But man, is it that hard to build up somebody for Asuka? Really? Is it that difficult? Man, the Raw Women's Championship doesn't mean shit right now. And that's sad. Because it's fucking Asuka. It's fucking Asuka. Right? She should not be being treated like this. It's fucking Asuka, guys. Oh, man, it makes me sad. It really does make me sad. Because I love Asuka. But, man. Alright, real quick. Okay, take a pause for a second. We'll get back to Asuka. Edward said, do you hear about Sasha losing her theme song? Sasha's not going to lose her theme song. Stop. All right, stop. And if she was to ever lose her theme song, Sasha would just go back to her old theme. She would just go back to the Sky's the Limit theme. She's not going to lose her theme song because of what happened in with Snoop Dogg doing something with AEW, right? The reason why he's going to the AEW to promote something he's doing with Cody. He's not joining their roster. WWE is not that petty, you know? Okay, come on. I was wasting my time with that nonsense. Christopher Carter says New Day needs to turn heel. No. Well, you could, but who are they going to go up against? You have no teams. I wouldn't mind the New Day turning heel, but they're not going to do that. Right? Big E's still part of the New Day, and he's on SmackDown. Why would they turn, the New Day heel on Raw and not have Big E turn heel on SmackDown? He's still part of the New Day. It's just that they're on different brands. So I just don't see that happening. Anyway, back to Lana. Like I said, I just hate, man, what's happened to Asuka. She should not be in this position. But they're making the Raw Women's Championship absolutely meaningless right now. And it's sad because it should not be in that position. It really isn't. Like, the more I think about it, as much as I would love to see Rhea Ripley go to SmackDown, I feel like Rhea Ripley's needed. She's badly needed on Monday Night Raw. Honestly, Rhea Ripley might be the one that has to come in and save the Raw Women's Championship. Or at least, give Asuka a credible feud at this point. Because the Raw Women's division is absolute shit. They're making the fucking tag team titles and Lana more important than Asuka's Raw Women's Championship reign. And if you don't understand that, you're part of the problem. And you're just a fucking idiot. It's really that. I'm sorry. I'm not going to apologize for that dumbass crap. I'm really not. It's sad. It really is sad. Fucking hate it, man. Asuka, Edward says it all the time, Asuka deserves better. Yes, he does deserve better, man. It's sad. Really is sad. Anyway, to the match itself. Let's get this shit out of the way. So, in terms of the match itself, Lana actually won. I wasn't surprised here, right? Because they had been building it up. So, basically, Nia went for a Samoan drop from the top rope. Lana wiggled out of it. She took her opponent's knee and delivered a double stomp that drove Jackson to the mat. Then she stacked Nia Jax up for the win and the 1-2-3. So after the match, Bazer attacked Asuka because Asuka was celebrating, right? Making Asuka look kind of dumb because she should have seen Shayna Bazer coming. But then Shayna went out and joined Nia Jax as they beat the hell out of Lana. They targeted her left leg. And if you guys remember last week, they had Nia Jax and Shayna Bazer talking about how they were going to twist Lana's body and how they're going to make Lana look more ugly on the outside than her inside. So, they twisted her leg. But I tweeted this out, man. How fucking dumb can Lana be? Honestly, you have one job. One job. One of the easiest things and most important things in wrestling is selling. Why the hell can't Lana sell correctly? You have her sitting there crying like a little crybaby bitch. She's sitting there crying, but instead of selling, they're attacking her leg. Right? They're twisting it up. You're supposed to be grabbing your leg, acting like you're in legit pain. Because probably on Sunday, right, they're going to have Lana wrestling in some kind of brace to sell her injury. But instead, you have Lana just sitting there like, oh, stop doing that. You're hurting me, coach. You're hurting me. Really? Really? Make me believe you're in actual pain. I complain about this all the time with Charlotte. Because Charlotte's not a good seller. You know, you see this here with Lana too. Sell. You want me to care about Lana, but she can't even do the easy things correctly. Sell. Sell your injury. Make us actually believe that you're actually hurt. Come on, man. It's simple. It's simple. And now we're going to get this garbage match this Sunday at TLC. It's going to be garbage, and no one's going to give a shit about it. Man. NBA YouTube says, watch Lana win the Royal Rumble. Yeah. I remember, we heard reports of that last month. Let WWE have that happen. Let Lana win the Royal Rumble over a Rhea Ripley or a Naomi, right? Or a Bayley or an Alexa. Or all these other names that, you know, deserve way better than Lana. Let that happen. See what kind of rant you guys get from me on that pay-per-view in a couple months. My gosh, it's garbage. I don't care about Lana versus Lana and Asuka versus Jackson, Shayna, Bazer. All right, it's a spit in the face to Asuka. And if you honestly care about this match on Sunday, I feel sad for you. I'll cover it because I have to, but I have absolutely zero desire, zero interest in it. None of it. Next up, we had Elias. Elias introducing his new bodyguard, Jason Riker. Right, so there was lots of rumors of Jason Riker getting released, right? You guys remember earlier this year he made some very, very controversial conflicts about Donald Trump, you know, and it was the reason why the Forgotten Sons, who have truly been forgotten, right? Another talented tag team, another talented stable from NXT that Vince broke up before they could even get their foot in the water on the main roster. Wow. Wow. I have a post, and we'll talk about this later when I post the WWE Best of 2020. I have a list of all the tag teams that were broken up or released or are not on WWE TV because of injury or something like that. I have all of them. And trust me, the list is long. Another team that WWE could be using, because you look at WWE's tag team division, it's such a bad year for tag team wrestling in WWE. Absolutely awful. I wasn't the biggest fan of the Forgotten Sons, but I can at least admit that they were semi-talented. All right? But, you know, now they have Jason Riker in this bodyguard role, right, with Elias. They tested it out on main event, and this looks like, you know, what they're going to be doing going forward. Honestly, I don't think they should do the bodyguard role. I would honestly just put, you know, Riker and Elias in a tag team. Their look actually matches. At least, you know, we'll see what happens with Riddle and Hardy, right? Their styles are kind of weird. They don't really mesh together. But, you know, we'll see how that develops in the next few weeks. But at least with Elias and Riker, they kind of make a little bit of sense, you know, with the beard, you know, the long hair, the semi-hipster look, right? So I honestly, maybe that's a team that could work. You need tag teams anyway in the Raw Tag Team division. When I say you should put superstars together, this is a pairing that actually makes a little bit of sense. I'm not excited for it. I'm not going to say I want to see them as the Raw Tag Team champions tomorrow, but put them in the division at least, right? At least that's a team that's there. If you build them up correctly, you know, they can actually, you know, make some noise. Their styles are similar. Their looks are similar, right? I feel like that's the direction they should go. Stop with the bodyguard shit and just put Elias and Riker as a tag team. You know, let me know what you guys think. Is that something you guys would want to see? But anyway, Elias talked about how he was electrocuted in his Sympathy of Destruction match against Jeff Hardy, which no one gave a shit about, right? And Riker revealed that he had a revelation that Elias's music was the universal truth and that he would check Elias from attack from any other superstars because he was tired of seeing Elias, a guy with so much talent, right? So talented, be attacked by superstars and interrupted every single week, even though that's Elias's gimmick, right? He's just there to waste time on TV and eventually get interrupted. But anyway, we saw R-Truth. He interrupted. He was apologizing for interrupting Elias on main event, but he didn't understand that he was again interrupting Elias tonight. So then he tried to stop talking just to listen to Elias play. But of course, all the catering squad, right? Akira Tozawa, Eric, Drew Gulak, all of them tried attacking R-Truth for the 24/7 title. Riker made them all pay. And that's how the segment ended. Put them in the tag team division. That's it. That's it. All right? That's it. JDE says Lana is out. Apparently she's actually hurt. Yeah, are you kidding me? Really? I don't really care. If that is, right? If that is the case, I'm not happy for anybody to get injury, right? But, you know, we just got saved from having to watch that dreadful match. Let me look at IWN. Let me see. Is Lana really hurt? Did Nia Jax injure another superstar? I don't know. I'm not seeing anything so far. But someone let me know. Just message me on Twitter if that's really true. It's true, actually. I just got it from Wrestling Inc. Oh my gosh. Asuka will need to find a new partner at TLC. Why not just cancel, right? Why not just cancel? Fucking hell, man. Why not just cancel the match altogether? Give us something else. Cancel the match altogether. Why does Asuka need a replacement? She should not even be in the tag team title picture to begin with. She's fucking Asuka. Build her up as the Raw Women's Champion. Now you're focused on having her find a replacement to go after the tag team titles? Why? Why? Fucking hell, man. The priorities of this company are all over the fucking place. Why? Jeez, bro. Like, I know that Kairi Sane is gone. She's not there. Who are you going to have Asuka team with a Mandy Rose or a Dana Brooke? I don't care about that shit. Fuck. Anyway, we had Keith Lee versus The Miz and Morrison. I don't have much to say about this, right? I already ranted about it in the opening shoot. He went for the spirit bomb on Morrison, but, Morrison escaped. Then they did a bunch of double team strikes, and they piled up on Lee, allowing Miz and Morrison to get the win, right? Keith Lee kicked out, right after the 3 count, but it was already too late. Like I said, I hope I'm wrong, but it looks like we're starting to get a potential burial of Keith Lee, man. And I pray that I'm wrong, man. But fuck you, Vince, if you fuck up Keith Lee. If you bury and fuck up Keith Lee, one of my favorites from NXT, man, oh man, there's no hope for this guy. There really isn't. There's a reason why Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano refused to be called up to the main roster. Because we know both those names should have been on the main roster close to 2 years ago. But we know why they decided to stay in NXT. Sad. Fucking sad. If this leads to a Keith Lee burial. I pray that I'm wrong. I pray. How the fuck do you fuck up Keith Lee? Anyway, we had Bray Wyatt going on a field trip, bringing the Firefly Funhouse to the Thunderdome, right? I like Bray Wyatt. You know, Alexa Bliss, she wasn't there tonight. Kind of sad, and I still boggles my mind that I'm actually sad that we didn't get Alexa Bliss tonight, man. I don't believe like Alexa Bliss got to that point with me, but anyway, you know, I know Alexa Bliss is filming some kind of project, and she is advertised to be in Bray Wyatt's corner for TLC, so she should be back for this Sunday. Anyway, he had, you know, the Ribbity Rabbit, Porcel's Pig, and I forget the Buzzard guy, right? They were all sitting at ringside, but you could tell they had these like freaking automatic laughs for them that they just kept replaying on loop over and over again. So like, that got annoying real quick. But I didn't mind Bray Wyatt's promo here. I didn't mind it really at all. You know, I like his funny Mr. Rogers nature. I do. You know, because when the Fiend comes out, that's when he gets serious. So I don't have a problem. You guys know I like the Fiend. I just wish he was booked a little bit better. But he talked about how there would be no fun or games at TLC when he went off against Randy Orton because the Fiend doesn't like to play games, right? He made some jokes about Randy Orton, which they were like whatever. And then, as you know, the Pig, Ramley Rabbit, and Mercy the Buzzer were laughing at ringside. Orton appeared on the video screen. I thought what was gonna happen here. I thought that they were gonna have Randy Orton like kidnap Alexa Bliss, right? Because Randy kept talking about how, you know, Alexa Bliss is the X Factor. Alexa Bliss is the weakness to get to the Fiend. But I guess, you know, I don't know if they just had to change things up because, you know, Alexa hasn't been there the last couple weeks. But still, you know, what they did with this, it didn't bother me as much. It wasn't the best, but it did bother me. So the Viper invited Wyatt to join him for a little game of hide and seek because Orton wanted to, you know, play mind games on the Fiend because of what happened last week during their match in the main event. So, of course, Bray Wyatt, in his Mr. Rogers, you know, ways, accepted the challenge, and he was like, let the games begin, right? So, later on, we saw the Fiend, he interacted with R-Truth. He also interacted with, what's his name? Matt Riddle, right? Didn't mind any of those, just nothing special. But still, we saw basically Bray Wyatt. He found like a dark room with one light, and basically it was a rocking chair. And this, you know, allowed Bray Wyatt to remember the time he spent back a couple years ago when he was the Eater of Worlds, Bray Wyatt, and how, you know, the impact that had on him, and, you know, of course, Randy Orton burning down Sister Abigail and the Wyatt compound. So, as Wyatt was sitting in the chair reflecting, you could see Randy Orton slowly coming from behind, and he attacked Wyatt from behind, right? And they brawled for a little bit, but Orton then trapped Wyatt inside of like a wooden crate. This was very similar to when way back Randy Orton, you know, when he burnt down the Wyatt compound, but back, like, I think this was 2005 when Randy Orton burned the Undertaker alive in a casket. So this was similar. So I guess they're using those. They're able to use those caskets or crates that only burn the outside and don't really have much of an impact on the inside. Because he threw Bray Wyatt in there and he locked it. Then he lit it on fire. So I love this because this reminds me of old Randy Orton, and it has an Attitude Era sense. We don't get to see that violent. We don't get to see violence like this on Monday Night Raw. It's all about fucking stupid ass entertainment and lame jokes. Why can't we get more serious shit like this? Like this. And I have a feeling like Vince and Bruce Pritchard didn't book this segment, right? The best segments on Raw and SmackDown are not booked by Bruce and Vince. They can't be. Because they're not creative like that anymore. They're fucking losers. This was easily by far and away the best shit on tonight's show. Easily. And man, I'm just sitting there like, damn, why can't we get more of this? Why can't we get more of this? I love what they did here. Honestly, I love what they did here. But basically what happens here as the crate was on fire, right? All of a sudden we see Bray Wyatt break. So he just breaks the crate open out of nowhere, and he's in, the Fiend attire. So I guess he was able to change while he was in the crate, unless they, had filmed this earlier. So then he gets off, and then he freaking starts brawling with Randy Orton again, and then he gets the mandible claw in on Randy Orton. And I don't know, I find it funny. It's like every time Bray Wyatt starts screaming, he's like, oh, oh, oh. It's like the Fiend's having like some kind of fucking orgasm. I find that shit hilarious. Like every time he attacks somebody with that mandible claw. But either way, it was a great segment. So it's like as evil as Randy Orton is, every time he tries to do something cynical to take out the Fiend has like a leg up on him. So it's like the Fiend is determined not to let Randy Orton's mind games work on him like it did a couple of years ago. So I like what they're doing here. I just don't know what the match is going to deliver at TLC. The story is there. Will the match be worth it? I don't know. But we'll just have to wait till TLC to find out. All right. Edward, I said that Alexa is, she's filming a movie. That's why she hasn't been on TV. Or not movies. She's filming some kind of project. She doesn't have COVID or anything. She's just filming a project. She should be back at TLC. All right, no problem there. We had Ricochet versus Mace, right? So Ricochet continuing this feud with the Hurt Business. I don't care. I don't care about the Hurt Business. They have not been booked correctly at all on Monday Night Raw, and you guys know this. So I just don't give a shit. There's really nothing to say about this. So, basically, I didn't even watch the match. But as the match went on, Ricochet, he took out each member of Retribution as they tried to get involved, right? But then Slapjack got involved at the end, and this interference allowed Mace to hit his finisher, and that's how Retribution gets the win. Afterwards, the rest of Retribution, they grab Ricochet, and then Mustafa Ali says, I decide when this ends, and this will continue until you decide to join Retribution. So I don't know if that's what's gonna happen. At this point, I don't really care. Even though it would be interesting to see Ricochet in Retribution, I just don't care right now. They've done nothing with Retribution. Honestly, just break them up and send those superstars back down in NXT so they can have some hope of a career. That's all I can say, all right, at this point. Nothing else. Next up, we had Dana Brooke versus Shayna Bazer. Like I said, there was a lot of segments on tonight's show. Like, I hate when they just overload you with segment after segment after segment, man. There was a lot, and, most of it wasn't even good. We had Dana Brooke versus Shayna Bazer. Versus Shayna Bazer. Dana Brooke, she's had a couple victories in the last week over Mia Yim, a.k.a. Reckoning of Retribution, which should have happened, but whatever, right? The match didn't go on long. Ravens beat the Browns 47-42. Wow. Yeah, that might be game of the year between the Ravens and the Browns. Can't wait to watch those highlights afterwards. But anyway, back to the match. Dana, she dodged a couple of Shayna's attacks, right? But then afterwards, Nia Jax caused the disqualification as Dana was gaining momentum. But then Mandy Rose, who we haven't seen, since before Survivor Series, she returned and made the save, attacking Bazer and Jax with a kendo stick. But then Bazer were able to get the leg up on Mandy Rose, and Asuka made the saves, right? So, like I said, we don't know who's going to be Asuka's partner at TLC. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit if it's Mandy Rose. I don't give a shit if it's fucking Dana Brooke. I don't give a shit if it's Sasha Banks coming from SmackDown, right? I don't care who it is. I don't care. You are ruining Asuka every single week. It is that simple. You are ruining her. Ruining it. Sad, but you are ruining her. fucking hell. Another match I forgot we had. We had Matt Riddle versus MVP. This has been set up the last couple weeks because, MVP has been calling Matt Riddle a clown, right? So this match didn't even go 2 minutes. I don't know what the hell. So much overexposed shit, man. This match was like, I don't even know it. It was like 90 seconds. 90 seconds. MVP got a couple of punches in, through the first 30 seconds. But then Riddle rocked him with a flashing knee strike and then delivered the floating bro for a quick squash match victory. Why was this on the show? Why? I guess they're teasing something. I don't know. Are Matt Riddle and Jeff Hardy going to be a tag team going after the Raw Tag Team titles? Or is Matt Riddle going to be going after Bobby Lashley for the U.S. Championship? I'm more interested in the latter. Right? I would rather see Riddle versus Lashley. But I don't know what the fuck we're doing here. Like I said, another act of Vince being out of touch and having no fucking direction. The 50-50, no direction booking every single week. Fucking terrible. Fucking terrible. Last but not least here, we had a WWE Championship Ascension ceremony with Drew McIntyre and AJ Styles. I felt like they could have done more with this. I am excited for Styles and Drew McIntyre. This is a fresh matchup. We've never seen these two go at it before, right? It's going to be a TLC match, so it's going to be good. But I kind of want to see these two go at it in a singles match. I would not be mad if they delayed Sheamus versus McIntyre, and if they give us Styles versus McIntyre again potentially at the Royal Rumble, if they could tell a decent story here. All right, I want to see Styles versus McIntyre in a one-on-one match. That's a match that I feel like could be a match of the year candidate, right? We know how good both these superstars are. Even though, like I said, the TLC match will be good, but, that's more of a gimmick match. I would love to see these two in a one-on-one match. Kind of like how we saw Drew versus Roman at Survivor Series, right? But anyway, Tom Phillips, Tom Phillips' clown ass directed the championship ceremony. Styles pointed out that McIntyre had never been in a TLC match, but Styles has, and he's also defended the WWE title in TLC before. Like I said, I told you guys last week, go watch AJ Styles versus Dean Ambrose from TLC 2016. A very, very underrated TLC match. Very good match. Go check that out, guys. But he talked about McIntyre's loss to Randy Orton and Hell in a Cell and questioned whether he could handle the pressure of holding the title for a long time. McIntyre issued a retort, but that McIntyre said he's a diamond when the pressure is on, and he's going to run through Styles like a train at TLC. Then Styles said that he may not be the only person McIntyre has to face at TLC. And, of course, Almas and also Miz and Morrison, because, Miz is going to be looking to cash in Money in the Bank. Even though, like I said, I don't give a shit about Miz. I'm so sick and tired of this shit every single week. So bad. So Miz and Morrison attacked McIntyre, but McIntyre was able to fight them off. He claymored Morrison, who was holding a ladder, right? But then Styles capitalized on the distraction, and Almas helped out by taking out Almas took out McIntyre's leg. So, we're getting a call. Hold up. Security, this is George speaking. How may I help you? Yeah, no problem. Thanks for letting me know. Yeah, no problem. Yep, thanks. Oh, my phone never rings. That was just my relief coming. They're just telling me they're gonna be a couple minutes late. Anyway, back to what I was saying, man. That got me. That got my heart racing for a second. It was like, woof. Anyway, basically, Styles capitalized on the brief distraction, and of course, Almas took out McIntyre's leg. This allowed AJ Styles to have a brutal attack on McIntyre, and, he showcased that TLC experience early. He hit McIntyre with a phenomenal forearm, beat him down with a ladder and a chair, right? And, McIntyre had to suffer through it all. McIntyre did a good job of selling here. Styles then put McIntyre to another table by jumping off a ladder with an elbow drop, which looked really good, and then he stood atop the ladder to close the show. So, it was okay. It was an okay segment. I'm just like, you could have done a little bit more, right? For a match that people have been waiting for so long, they could have done more here with McIntyre and Styles. The match is going to be great at TLC, but I just, like I said, I just wish they could put more into it. You know, it's I hate to say it, but you know, it's just fact at the end of the day. They could have put more here with McIntyre and Styles. But other than that, guys, man, another painful Monday Night Raw complete, right? Another painful ending to Monday Night Raw, and I just can't anymore. I just can't. It's just, it makes you think, do we really have a pay-per-view to cover this weekend? Do we really? Like, they've done a really bad job trying to make you care about TLC. They really have. Outside of McIntyre Styles, you know, Roman and KO and Sasha Banks, I'm just not excited for TLC. I'm not. But, you know, either way, we'll cover it like we always do here on the channel. And, you know, I'll do my best. But, you know, I'm not excited for TLC, man. NBA YouTube says, Ricochet, I hope Ricochet leaves in January, man. He deserves so much better. He has been absolutely wasted. I would love to see Ricochet in AEW. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of AEW, he would fit in AEW really well. I can definitely see him fitting there fighting for the TNT Championship. Other than that, guys, that's all I got for you guys today, man. Thank you guys so very much for joining me on the podcast here tonight. Once again, leave a like on the video if you guys are new to the channel so we can educate more people as always. Also, guys, we will have the TLC preview and prediction show this weekend on Friday. Then, you know, we'll have the TLC review, of course, Sunday night, so make sure you guys join me for that. Other than that, guys, that's all I got for you guys today. Make sure to subscribe if you guys are new to the channel so you guys are notified every time I post a new video. Click the bell next to my name, Fitzmonk TV. Follow me down on social media. The link is in the description. Other than that, guys, I'll see you guys this weekend, man. Stay safe and healthy, y'all.